You're listening to The Scrimmage with Daniel Hargrove and Justin Domashevitz.
You can tell these are super well planned out, right? Hello. Welcome to the scrimmage.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Andrew. It's just us two. Oh, and I moved the table. Yep. This is off to a great start. Anyway, we're without Justin today. For reasons I will get to later. But we got good stuff because
Justin got us ready for it.
Because Justin prepared us for everything. The question is, though, am I asking you the questions that were meant for him? This is something we should have figured out before the show. Or are you just going to ask me all the questions? I guess we'll find out, because let's get it going with the 2-minute drill. Let's go. That's a tough question because he would be a little bit undersized for how he plays in the NBA because he is 6'10", and yet all he does is play on the inside. So it's a little tough, but he's a basketball junkie. So I think that he could be an effective player if he accepts the role of kind of the grind it out, do his part, get rebounds guy. I don't think he's going to be a star. I don't think he's worth a lottery pick, though.
Daniel.
Yes.
Tiger Woods made the cut at the Masters on Friday. Woods has been battling injuries, and many wondered whether he would be able to physically finish the grueling course at Augusta. He was in a really serious accident like 16 months ago.
Yeah.
Is Tiger's return the biggest story at the Masters?
It's up there. I mean, is it the biggest story, publicity-wise? Yes. I mean, that was the first thing I heard about the Masters this year was, Tiger's in the Masters. Like, that was the first story that reached the headline status that it popped up onto my radar.
Oh, the Masters must be happening because Tiger's in the Masters.
Exactly. Yeah, and it is over, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, Scotty Scheffler won with a score of 10 under. Held off a extremely good last round by Rory McIlroy. Went 8 under today. Sheesh, when you're playing like you got nothing to lose, it's amazing how some of the scores that these guys can put up. Scheffler went 1 under today, though, finished 10 under. He would be the second biggest story, but Tiger Woods completing the Masters, I mean, that's still huge. The fact that he made the cut, I'm trying to see where he finished, though. There it is. He finished 6 over. He finished 13 over. So not great, but made the cut, had a couple of decent rounds. So, I mean, that was a huge, huge story that anytime Tiger Woods returns to golf, that's massive. But the first major for Scotty Scheffler, an American, getting the win at the Masters, that's got to be up there now.
All right. Daniel, Manchester United are investigating an incident in which Cristiano Ronaldo allegedly smashed a supporter's phone following a Premier League defeat to Everton on Saturday. Footage shared on social media, leaving the pitch. I'm popping hard on this. Leaving the pitch and appearing to slap a mobile phone out of a fan's hand and onto the floor. Justin, or Daniel, how big of a deal is this?
Well, was it one of his own supporters? Was it one of his fans? That's because I was going to say, there's something recently with the Blazers that was similar to this with Yusuf Nurkic, where he took a fan's phone and kind of tossed it aside. And I didn't think that was a very big deal as well. I mean, you're probably going to get fined. If it's your own fan, though, that's kind of just a jerk move. Like, if it's someone getting a picture of you. All in all, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I don't think it's a big deal as long as you publicly acknowledge it. Like, I feel like the right thing, if he comes out and says, hey, I was having an awful day, I lost it on the fan, I'm sorry, I'm going to make it up to you and buy you a new phone. Jersey,
exactly.
Say I'm sorry. That isn't a big deal.
Absolutely. Yep, I totally agree. Also, if he just slapped it out of his hands and it fell and broke, that's much less of a deal than what it sounds like when it says smashed.
Yeah.
Like if he grabbed it out of his hands and like spiked it.
Yeah.
Would have been cooler, but more of a big deal.
Daniel, the Seattle Mariners signed 27-year-old shortstop J.P. Crawford to a 5-year, $51 million contract. Should the Mariners fans be excited about this deal?
Absolutely. This is a great deal. I mean, he proved last year that he is not only a gold glove shortstop. Don't give me Carlos Correa. Even Correa knew that he shouldn't have gotten that. And the fact that this whole series, sorry, this is a rant for just after. I'll save it. The whole series, they keep mentioning Carlos Correa, the platinum glove winner. He was not the best defender in the American League just because some stupid people gave him that award.
What is the platinum glove?
I've never heard of it before in the first place.
They
So
made it up so they could give him an award?
Well, they've mentioned it like it's a thing, but I've honestly never heard of it before this year. But apparently they give it to who they say is the best defender in the league at any position. Whereas Gold Glove, it's all by position.
Right.
You know, you're the best. You're the Gold Glove shortstop. You're the Gold Glove center fielder.
But Correa's a shortstop, and he didn't win the Gold Glove.
He did win the Gold Glove.
Oh, okay.
Last year, and I'm saying that's bullcrap
did they give out more than one Gold Glove last year?
No, Crawford won it the year before.
Oh, 2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm complaining because I'm saying that Correa did not deserve the Gold Glove. And that's why that whole story came out about people saying, "Oh, do you think you deserved it?" And he was like, "Derek Jeter of his Gold Gloves." And I was like, "Oh, snap!" I'm all of a sudden kind of like Carlos Correa. But yeah,
That's
so
all you need to do.
Exactly.
To win Daniel's heart. Say bad things about Yankees.
Exactly. So I think that it is worth it. You have a Gold Glove level shortstop, and that's the first priority of a shortstop. Excellent defense. When you start making big money as a shortstop is when you hit as well. And he proved I think he had like 275 last year or something like that. That is darn good in this era of baseball. And the fact that he can be a weapon on offense instead of a hindrance on offense, that's what's going to get you a big contract. And yet 5 years, $51 million isn't that big. Like this is kind of a bargain.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to be paying him hundreds of millions of dollars after he's done playing.
And it's only runs until he's 32. So, yeah. I mean, you're not paying for any dog years either.
Yeah, this isn't his last contract.
No, absolutely not. And it kind of plays nicely into, I mean, you got Noelvi Marte, who's a shortstop coming up, who's kind of like your next big thing prospect after Julio Rodriguez that everybody's going to be looking at. He's listed as a shortstop. He's the type of prospect that teams love to move to third because he's big. So we'll see how that plays in. Maybe he comes in as a third baseman and then maybe he can move to shortstop later. Or there's a bunch of different things they can do. Anyway, I think what J.P. Crawford means to this team, not only as Gold Glove shortstop, a pretty darn good hitter for a shortstop. I know he's not your God mode shortstops like we've seen in this era with just monsters there, but he's a solid hitting shortstop. So far away from the Jack Wilsons and the... Oh, I can't remember the other guy's short. Who do we have? It was Jack Wilson and that one guy with the mustache. Remember him? Oh, Brendan Ryan.
I like Brendan Ryan.
Yeah, but
he was horrendous.
Couldn't hit to save his life.
He was good at base running.
Yeah. So I think it's a steal. I'm down with it. That was the long answer. I'm glad that was the last question.
Yeah. No, I dig it as well. I feel like he's a really big part of the energy also, which is difficult to quantify, but he seems to be a really major, like, emotional leader in the clubhouse.
Absolutely. Oh, and I just got rid of the show sheet. Oh, there it is. Okay, now it's back. So Justin's not here, and I'm gonna say it's probably because I told him that my ankle was really icky. And so he decided to avoid the show.
I think that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
I know I'm worried.
Yeah.
If you start unwrapping under the table there, I'm leaving.
Oh, it's unwrapped. You better not. Should I?
No.
I don't think the camera would pull it.
No.
So
blocked and reported.
Blocked. It's not just an ankle injury this time either. It's hard to deal with because this is a new injury for me.
So what happened?
What
happened, Daniel?
So I was all excited. I made it through, by the grace of God, a full basketball season without any braces or wraps. Made it through my last basketball game, which we lost. We got knocked out of the playoffs last Thursday. And I was all excited. Felt good. A little sore after the last game because we didn't have many players and I played really hard because we were losing. And so I was like trying to, but anyway, so I'm a little sore. Get through the soreness. I'm at a baseball practice that I'm coaching in on Monday night. I'm coaching a baseball practice. After the practice, other coach, Kai, says, hey, anything else we should do? And I'm like, well, we got to run. Like, we haven't made anybody do conditioning, and I'm old school. I'm like, we got to make the kids run. Like, what the heck? I don't care. This is only Babe Ruth. Like,
I'm so in a way, this is karma.
Oh, it's my fault. Yeah, it's karma. On 2 counts. So my favorite conditioning drill in baseball when you're outside is to kind of do like, it's kind of like suicides, but baseball style. So what you...
Yeah, that sounds great, Daniel.
Yeah, so what you do is you sprint through first, like you hit a single, like an infield single, and then you jog around the rest of the way, all the way around to home plate.
Okay.
And then when you get back, then you sprint to second, like you hit a stand-up double, and then you jog around, and then third, and then inside the park home run is how it ends. So you're sprinting to first, sprinting to second, sprinting to third, sprinting home. Sure. And so all the kids, they take off through first, but then they kind of looked lost because they've never done the drill before, and nobody showed them exactly what they're doing. So I was like, all right, well, this next time around, I'll go first. We can just follow it. So I take off, we go to second, and it's fine. And then we go to third. And I do that just fine. But on the 1 to third, I'm noticing that our best player, who's like fast too, is kind of like creeping up close to me. And I'm thinking, oh, I know exactly what's going on here. Because that was me when I was 15 is, oh, I got a chance to not only pass somebody, but also pass the coach.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. So on the home run, I was like, first of all, I was starting.
Is that how your dad hurt himself?
Yeah, probably. So I was feeling pretty gassed, and I'm like, I don't need conditioning. Why am I doing this? Like, I'm waiting at home, like
You're
sucking
feeling
air.
gassed, but you don't need conditioning.
Yeah, well, but I don't need to compete at anything. So I'm like, oh, I'll just, maybe I should just send the kids on the home run. But in my head, Andrew, this is where it's the worst part. In my head, I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I have to run. If I'm gonna make the kids run, I should run. And then also I'm like, can't
let that whippersnapper beat me.
Exactly. So I take off and I'm running and I get to second and this kid's hot on my heels by the time I get to second. And so I go to take like some faster steps. And on the second step, I feel like something kicks me in the back of the heel.
Oh, no.
And at first I'm like, oh, shoot, did we tangle up? And then as I just crumple to the ground, I'm like, oh, no, he wasn't close enough to kick me. And I realized that is how Achilles injuries are described.
Yeah.
People getting kicked in the back of the heel. I was just like, oh. So then I'm terrified because I've probably mentioned this to you a couple times. I've been really nervous about Achilles injuries. And that image of the Achilles just coiling up into the calf. Anyway, so I'm just lying there on the ground face first. All the kids run by me. They all finish the drill. And I'm sure some of them were just like, oh, he probably just ate it because he didn't want Bubba to pass him. But so they run by and then Kai comes out there and he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I popped my Achilles. And I didn't want to look at it because I was afraid of what it would look like. And so then he looked at it and says, well, it's not coiled up in there. And I was like, oh, thank God. But yeah, so I popped my Achilles, but it apparently did not fully rupture. So right now it's gone through black and blue and now it's to yellow.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the color of it right now. And it's still swollen. That happened on Monday. So this is like day 6. And yeah, I got crutches and a walking boot.
Nifty.
And because it looks icky, Justin was like, yeah, I'll see you guys next week.
But you know what he did do?
What?
He sent me some questions for his favorite part of the show.
Oh.
Serving questions up on a silver platter where the points are made up and the rules don't matter. Time for Stump Daniel.
That's right, Justin. It is time for Justin's favorite part of the show. Brought to you.
Maybe he's watching.
Brought to you
Justin, if you're watching, say something in the chat.
by the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz. I don't even know if I have time to look at the chat here. I've got so many tabs. Open.
All of the tabs.
So he sent me 10 questions that he has prepared here. They are all Mariners trivia, which should fit well into this.
Ooh, Mariners trivia, huh?
Yeah, and you should probably not be on your phone for this.
I'm chatting in the chat. Okay.
Chat, no giving the answers away. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the questions, and you can answer them, and then I'll make up a score.
Sounds good.
And tell you why you suck at the end.
Oh, that's exactly what Justin would do.
Yep. All right, Daniel. In 1995, it finally happened when the refused-to-lose Mariners pulled a miracle comeback from 13 games out in August to make the playoffs for the first time. Tied 2-2 in the division series and trailing 5-4 in the 11th inning of Game 5, the M's won the game and the series with a 2-run double. Who hit that game-winning double?
Is this a joke?
No. That's I assume this is a softball question.
Softball?
Well,
He put this on
hardball.
He put this on a tee? Edgar Martinez.
Edgar Martinez is
What?
correct.
Why was that even a question?
I don't know. It was a terrible question, Justin.
I'm insulted. I thought it was going to be like, who scored first on the play?
Well, I hope you're feeling
Joey Cora.
good. I even knew that.
Nice.
Joey Cora's running there.
Yeah. Here comes Joey. Here comes Junior to third base. Sorry.
So, number 2. This second baseman debuted in the 1983 season, made the All-Star team in 87, that was a good year, and 88, and won consecutive Gold Gloves in 88, 89, and 90. Who is this Mariners hero?
I'm assuming it's Harold Reynolds.
It is Harold Reynolds!
Hey.
Terrible question. In 2001, John Olerud, go Cougs,
Go
hit for the
Cougs.
cycle, becoming the third Mariner to accomplish that feat. Who were the first two? And for bonus points, what year did they do it?
Oh. Now this is a tough question. Because I don't know. But I'm going to guess Jay Buhner.
That is one of them.
Ooh. I don't know the year, though. And
He added the year in parentheses, so I figured I could add it as a bonus.
Jay Buhner and I'll go with, let's see. It's going to be like some rando, I bet. It's going to be, I'm going to say Alvin Davis. Not a rando.
No, it's some rando named Alex Rodriguez.
Not a rando.
In 1997,
That makes
A-Rod
sense.
hit for the cycle, and in 1993, Jay Buhner hit for the cycle.
I feel embarrassed that A-Rod was not my guess. I knew it wasn't Griffey, though, so I was working off that.
At least you didn't guess.
Yeah.
Question 4, which player played in left field in the most games for the Seattle Mariners during the 116-win 2001 season? Al Martin, McLemore.
Ben McLemore? I think it's Ben.
McLemore.
I think it's Ben. No. What is his first name?
Or Stan Javier.
Dude, that team is so random. Left field, the most. That's a great question. That's awesome. Oh, boy. McLemore was more of a utility guy, so he would play some infield too. Jeez, was it really Al Martin or Stan Javier and they won 116 games with either of those two? What? That's nuts. I'm going to say Al Martin.
You are correct.
That's nuts.
So it says here, Al Martin, 72 games in left field,
Okay.
100 overall. Macklemore, 63 games in left field, 125 overall.
See, he played a lot of other positions.
And Stan Javier, 62 games in left field, 89 games overall.
Wow, so they both, all three of them almost played a third.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That's a fun question. I just guessed.
Good question.
Yeah, that was a great question.
All right, number 5. Who was the Mariners' regular right fielder before Ichiro Suzuki claimed the spot in 2001?
Well, I know the one that I remember, but was that... So I'm just gonna process this. This isn't my guess, but I mean, Jay Buhner played right field. Was he still playing in the year 2000? So that's the question, right? Is who played right field in the year 2000?
Yes, that
Because
is the question.
okay. I'm trying to think of ooh. No, Raul Ibanez I think was a little younger than that. And we already saw the randos. They were rolling out in left field before that. So I'm just gonna go with Jay Buhner because I feel like if it's not Jay Buhner, then it's less obvious that I should know that.
What was your guess? I'm sorry. I was reading.
Sorry, it's Jay Buhner. I'm gonna guess Jay Buhner. Yes,
It is Jay Buhner. I tuned out during your processing.
Yeah, that's okay.
Jay Buhner started 101 games in right field in the year 2000.
Wow.
Batted 253 and hit 26 dingers with 82 RSBI.
And then he retired. That's a pretty sick last year. Like
Yeah.
that's borderline all-star nowadays.
And he retired because he got replaced by a Hall of Famer.
Well, did he retire because, was he still on the team to start the next year?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. Nice hat, by the way.
Thank you.
I need to get a Mariners hat.
I really like these colors, the Mariner colors when they're in
The blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow.
It's almost
And
like you're a
green.
Bobcat or something.
You know, yes, but that isn't even why I like them on this.
They
on
look
the
fresh.
Mariners.
Oh, you can hear my son in the background.
He's not happy with your brilliant performance so far. You need to step it up.
I'm doing good. I've only missed like half of one question.
Question number 6. This is a long question. A long answer.
Wait.
One symbol of the M's early futility was a player who hit so badly that his name is now synonymous with a 200 batting average.
That guy was a Mariner?
Whose name defines the line that a hitter does not want to fall below?
That guy was a Mariner? How beautiful. That is so perfect. Gosh, our franchise is
We're just taking Justin's word on this.
Dude, our franchise. Go and watch that documentary that's on YouTube done by Stumptown because it just shows the absolute bizarreness of the Mariners franchise and the fact that I hope I don't have to get his full name, but it's Mendoza.
Yeah, what's his first name?
I have no idea.
Well,
let's go with Mendoza. How about Fernando?
No. I'll give you a partial here. Let's
Michael.
see if I can do this.
Michael
No,
Mendoza.
it didn't switch it quick enough. I couldn't
Okay.
interrupt the ding with the... Mario Mendoza.
Mario.
Although the Mendoza line is considered to be a flat 200 batting average, Mariner shortstop Mario Mendoza actually hit 215 for his career.
Oh.
The term was coined in 1979 after Mendoza had hit 198 and had a career 201 batting average. According to Mendoza, Mariners' Tom Paciorek,
I don't know.
Pacioreck, and Bruce Bochy were making fun of Kansas City third baseman George Brett, who was off to a slow start. They joked that you're going to sink below the Mendoza line if you're not careful. Brett relayed the joke to ESPN sportscaster Chris Berman, and the term stuck.
Oh my gosh. What a terrible thing to be known by.
Seriously.
Also, we would have been so excited had Brendan Ryan been hitting 200.
Well, it's a different era of baseball. Now 200's a perfectly respectable.
As long as you're hitting dingers.
As long as you're hitting home runs and or a really good defensive player.
Yep.
In number 7, in 1995.
Wow, how many are there?
There were 10.
Wow.
In 1995, which team did Seattle beat in a one-game playoff to determine the American League Western Division champion?
I'm going to get cocky on this one, Andrew. You said 1995?
Yep.
Not only going to say the name of the team, but also this team has had so many different iterations of like what region their team is from. I'm gonna say this is the California Angels.
You are correct.
Yes. Not the LA Angels of Anaheim, not the Anaheim Angels. This was the California Angels.
The California Angels
of
Anaheim in LA. Number 8, which two players from the 2001 Mariners were third generation big leaguers?
Third? I didn't know they were third generation. Wow, third generation? Well, one of them's Brett Boone.
That is correct. Brett Boone is one.
Okay, so let's go through it here. I don't think it was... Oh, no. I don't... Okay, so it's not Cameron. Who's their third baseman? Was that David Bell? Oh, David Bell. I think... Yeah, I'm going to go with David Bell.
You are correct.
Yes. See, I just had to work through the positions.
I
didn't know they were third. I knew they were second, though. That's crazy.
It says here, in his 92 debut with the Mariners, Brett Boone became the first third-generation player, the son of catcher Bob Boone and grandson of outfielder Ray Boone.
Yeah.
In 1995, David Bell, playing for the Cleveland Indians, became the second, the son of third baseman Buddy Bell and grandson of outfielder Gus Bell.
That's nuts.
In addition, Boone's brother Aaron and Bell's brother Mike also played in the majors.
I knew that Aaron did. I didn't know that there was another Bell, too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I hate those guys.
Question number 9. How many Mariners players were selected to the 2001 All-Star squad?
Oh, a lot.
That is not an acceptable answer.
It was so much fun going to the All-Star game. My brother had tickets to because that was also the All-Star game that was in Seattle.
Well, that's because everything's rigged.
Oh, that makes sense. That was scripted. Okay, so let's see. Brett Boone.
Yes.
Mike Cameron.
Yes.
John Olerud.
Yes.
Ichiro.
Yes.
Oh, what was his first name? Freddie Garcia.
Yep.
Kazuhiro Sasaki.
That is correct.
Oh, I feel like I'm missing one. I feel like there was 7. Well, the question was 7, right? Or the question was how many?
The question was how many.
I'm gonna go with 7. I feel like I'm missing one.
Are wrong.
Oh, I'm wrong. How many was it?
8.
Oh, snap!
So I'm going to read them off. I thought you only missed one of these, but so either you miscounted or I miscounted.
Okay.
John Olerud,
Okay.
Brett Boone,
Yep.
Ichiro Suzuki,
Yes.
Edgar Martinez.
That's okay. I missed that one.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was too old. Dang it! I was gonna.
Mike Cameron.
Yes.
Freddie Garcia.
Yes.
Jeff Nelson.
That was the other one.
Kazuhiro Sasaki.
So I missed Nelson and
What
Martinez.
position did Nelson play?
He was
I
a
don't
relief.
recognize that name.
He was a relief pitcher.
That would explain why.
And he was
That's
a
right.
relief pitcher that he was on the 95 season. Then he went and played for the Yankees, and then he came back to the Mariners, I think in either 2000 or 2001.
Why haven't we got him back?
Right?
Clearly, we need him.
He was so much fun because he kind of threw a little bit sidearm and didn't mind hitting people and threw hard.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. Question number 10.
Okay.
For all the marbles.
Oh, what happened to my other marbles?
What position did Edgar Martinez originally play before becoming the team's the team's full-time?
Third base.
That is accurate.
Yes.
Between 1989 and 1994, Edgar appeared in 530 games at third base before injuries relegated him to the DH spot.
Okay, I had no idea that he played there that long.
He played
I thought
in
it was
89 and was an All-Star in 2001.
Wow. That's nuts. He was an All-Star in his 22nd season. I know that baseball tends to do like the legacy All-Stars, but I feel like Edgar was still hitting at that time. Like, I feel like it was deserved. That's crazy.
That was the Stump Daniel, brought to you by the law offices of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz.
Yes.
Thank you to them for bringing us that lovely bit of joy every week.
Absolutely.
I enjoy it.
I enjoy it
Daniel
too.
enjoys it when it's like this week because
Exactly.
you definitely landed in the Julio zone.
Oh, new zone.
So I made it up on the spot. You're definitely in the Julio zone.
We got the Julio zone. Then we'd have like
the bottom zone is the Torrens zone, just for your information.
We do not like Torrens, me and you. Kelnick's got to be down there too. That's
Kelnick.
Rough start, man.
I mean, he got his first base hit today.
Dude.
Base hit. It was his first one. He got it.
On a pop-up that landed in between the pitcher, the catcher, the first baseman, and the third baseman. If you're wondering how that happened, so are we.
So for real though, when I saw that happening, the first baseman flew in like late.
Okay.
And I assumed that he called people off or something, but he came flying through late and missed it.
Gotcha.
And the catcher like pounces on it and snaps it to first. And I was like, oh my gosh, he better be on that base.
Yeah.
If he just got thrown out, I'll be so mad at him.
Like if he didn't run it out?
Yeah, and he was just standing there, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. And then on the replay, he looks at it, and then he jogs to first. So I think he was standing on first, and the catcher was just trying to get a back door
Gotcha.
in case he was off the bag.
Your dad described the play to me, and he described it like the catcher and the pitcher were both like, oh, somebody else usually catches these. And the third baseman was like, oh, are one of you guys going to get it? And then at the end, the first baseman was like, oh, shoot, I should go after this too.
It really did. Like the catcher and pitcher kind of came towards each other.
Yeah.
And we're like looking up and it was hanging up there. And then at the last second, the first baseman came flying through. And I was like, ah.
You know what? This is all, you see that play happen every now and then. And I feel like it's because pitchers are constantly told, don't touch the ball. You're a pitcher. You're a goober. And it leads to that kind of crap all the time because I'm sure the pitcher would have had the easiest time catching it.
Yeah.
But they're constantly told, let somebody else catch it.
Yeah,
You're going to screw it up.
Stay out of this.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but if I'm a coach, I'm telling my pitchers, if there's a pop-up in front of you, you catch it until somebody else calls you off.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to treat it like any other play that somebody else has priority, but if you can catch it, you catch it.
Yeah.
I have liked, with the shift, you see pitchers making more athletic plays on foul ball pops. Have you noticed that? There was a few last year where, like, because there's a foul ball that normally, like, a third baseman would get, but the third baseman's all the way over near second base. And so it's like, well, the pitcher's there. It's awesome. What do we got?
I'm just looking at the
Comments?
the comments or the live chat and Francis is not happy with our Mariners trivia. So someone didn't enjoy the happy Stump Daniel time.
Why? Because it was too easy?
No, because it was about the Mariners.
Oh,
Francis is a Yankees fan.
that's true. But we're not going to do Yankees trivia.
A-Rod is, by the grace of the Yankees now, the greatest Mariner of all time. Griffey is number 2, but number 1 in Seattle, or when he left to be closer to his family in Florida when he went to Cincinnati.
Not only to his
Junior
family
was
in
a-
Florida, Francis, his dad was a coach for Cincinnati.
Junior was apparently better at baseball than geography.
His dad was a coach in Cincinnati. You literally couldn't be closer.
Buhner, hands down the best haircut of any Mariner ever.
That checks out for Francis.
Yeah.
And he was a few Yankees that went to Seattle after being brought up in the Yankee system.
Francis says he's got an M's hat. He uses it to clean his litter box. And he also wants you to reenact the photo that you posted on Facebook of your boot. He's still trying to figure out why they needed to know what your ceiling tiles looked like.
So I posted a picture on Facebook of my boot with like this long drawn out post of what I was going through at the moment. And the reason why I took a picture of the ceiling, because I was lying down on the couch with my foot elevated. And that's how I took the picture. And I like held the crutch up with it because I just wanted to show everything. And it was kind of a weird, not going to lie, it's a weird picture because it's like my boot and then the ceiling. It's a weird picture.
My wife says that you lost your marbles.
That checks out. I don't have the boot on right now, Francis, because I usually take it off after I sit down. So if I pulled up my leg, it would just be my weird
Nobody
colored
wants
skin.
to see that.
Okay. Andrew won't let me. Maybe I'll
We're
sneak
trying,
it in later.
We're trying to gain viewership here.
So you've been watching a lot of baseball.
I've watched the first 3 games, and I feel guilty they've been on, and I've been like sitting watching them. And
That's
I
impressive.
Still couldn't tell you. I feel so not. I'm so bad at watching baseball. So bad at it.
As I think
Like I'm really
Baseball is
interested.
regular season baseball.
I struggle to watch it.
Can I hold this back
sure.
here?
I don't care.
Okay,
you
good.
do your thing.
Okay, because it's been a little bit of work to have my foot up, and then
I don't want you to have to work.
what is this work we speak of? I feel like especially early regular season baseball, is best listened to for the most part.
Yeah,
Like baseball is one of those few sports where radio broadcasts of baseball is still like right up there with actually watching it.
I really like listening to baseball.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to baseball, not watching baseball.
Me too.
However, if I listen to the game, I promise you I won't know what happened in it.
Oh, okay.
Like I just won't.
Yeah, I get that.
I might not even know who won if I don't like snap into it.
Yeah.
While I enjoy having the game on, like I really do enjoy having the game on, and I'll have it on if I have a chance and I have to do something else. If I actually, and I'm trying with Julio making his debut and all of the talk, like the hope is that this is the year that the Mariners can make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I want to at least know their faces. And there have been years where we got to September and I started watching the games that were meaningful, and I was like, "That's Kyle Lewis." That was a specific year.
I thought he looked like an accountant.
I really did. I was like, "Oh, I had no idea that Kyle Lewis was black." I just didn't even ever think about it.
Yeah.
And I was listening to games, but I wasn't watching them. So I'm trying to get to know these players because I am, it's more fun to follow the team when you recognize the players and you know them, or you don't know them, but you know their faces and stuff.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to watch these early games so I learn what people look like and stuff.
You've watched much more than I have. Had I not hurt myself, I probably would have watched more. But basically, I've watched the first couple of games. I watched through Julio and Kelenich's first at bats, and then I took a nap, and then I picked it up like in the late innings, like ninth inning.
Gotcha.
So I've watched.
Well, that was the right way to watch the first couple of games.
For both of the games, yeah, it was great. I have some concerns.
I mean, after 2 games, the Mariners were on pace for a 162-win season with a plus 162 run differential. Yeah,
that's true. Which fits them to a T.
It really does. And then today,
yep,
they lost by 6.
Was it
4-10?
Yeah, it was 10-4. So they are, now -4 on the run differential while winning their first series 2-1.
It's not a 1 series.
Oh, is it a 4-game series?
Yeah, it's a 4-game.
Oh, okay.
So they still have to win tomorrow, which I expect them to do by 1 run.
Yes, absolutely. Who's pitching tomorrow? Because Marco Gonzalez,
he struggled today.
He struggled a lot.
Did he only get through 2 innings?
I think so.
I think he only got
Let
through
me pull up
the
the
2
box score here really quick. Yeah, 2 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs. Only 2 of them were earned.
Yeah, so
that was
Adam Frazier, who I don't know the name of.
He's one of the new guys.
He is one of the newer guys, and people have said he's a good defensive player.
Yeah.
He made a really bad.
It
wasn't a good error.
Oh.
It was. I'm
like ground ball right to him
it
type
was
thing.
Ground ball right to him, and I assume it hopped that. I didn't see replays of it.
Probably not.
But he messed up on a ground ball right to him,
Gotcha.
and it loaded the bases.
And there was 2 outs.
2 outs.
Oh.
And the next guy hit a grand slam.
Oh.
So that was huge. So
Yeah.
and I that
former
doesn't-
Yankee hit a grand slam. I wonder what Francis feels about all the former Yankees on the Twins.
I bet he's a fan.
Probably.
But it's on the one hand, you can't, like, Marco wasn't pitching well, and that was why an error could allow that.
Yeah.
But also, at that point, he'd got contact directly to a defender to get that 3rd out, and that's what you need from your pitcher.
Yeah.
So I think it probably was not as bad as it looks.
But
But
from
it
what
wasn't good.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it was a 4-run error instead of like, oh, he gave up a 2-run home run because there's an error. It's like, wait,
Yeah.
there was 2 other guys already on base.
Yes.
So, yeah, it was not a great performance.
He was struggling.
Kelnick gets his first hit, as we all already talked about.
It counts. Still
yep.
counts.
Julio still only with that double, but that double was massively important to their comeback win last night. So that was really cool to see.
Also, maybe. So you were saying this, but I can never tell in text whether you're just frustrated or if you're serious. Is he getting really tight strike zones?
I was noticing it today too.
Like, because
it was nuts.
He's handling it really well. Because as he should.
He showed a little frustration today, though.
But
understandably, holy crap!
That's it seems like he's pretty consistently getting like a strike call or 2 a game where you're like, it's not really close.
Yeah, a game, and one of it's
Maybe
at bat.
Yeah,
and his first at bat yesterday, the first strike that was called was a good 4 inches outside. And then the last strike that was called was actually 4.19 inches outside, according to, what was that Twitter handle?
The one that I saw.
Umpire accountability or something like that. And they go through and look at umpires' bad calls. And apparently this umpire missed a plethora of strike calls.
Yeah.
And 2 of them were in that one at bat. And I'm just like, are you trying to teach a rookie bad habits? Like that he needs to swing at balls way out of the zone? And then today I'm watching too, and there's another strike called out there, and then a borderline strike called to ring him up later in the at bat on the inside corner. And I'm like, yeah, was that probably a strike? Yes, but you can't cover 4 inches outside the plate and right on the black on the inside part of the plate. Like, you can't do both. So,
well, especially because I feel like it's not consistent. Like, it's not like they're giving that strike to the pitchers all game.
Yeah.
And Julio should be able to know that. It's like, nah, that's been a ball.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. Hopefully.
At least when I've been paying attention.
It's so hard because the beginning of the season can start one of 2. I guess it can start 3 ways. But it can start one of 2 major ways. You can just start out
or for a player.
For a player.
Okay.
If you start out 4 for 4 in your first game, oh my gosh, you could go 0 for your next 8 and still be hitting 300 or 333, and so you're still feeling good. Mm-hmm. Or you can go 0 for 4 and you just feel like you are in a massive hole. And it can mentally it can screw with you. Because, yeah, I mean, are there times during a season where you're going to go 0 for 12 or 1 for 12? Yeah, that's going to happen pretty regularly. But to do so at the beginning of the season is such a brain. It just messes with your brain. Like, it really does. So, especially for young players like Rodriguez, who that's his career numbers, and Kelnick, whose career numbers aren't great, and he's kind of trying to have this whole new, like, mental rejuvenation of, being chill and just,
swinging
80% and hitting the ball, and all of a sudden he's 1 for 12, and that one hit was a pop up to the pitcher. Mm-hmm. That's gonna mess with you, man. So you're hoping that those can swing out. Still, there's only one guy who's hitting 0 still, though, who at least who's in the starting lineup, and that's Eugenio Suarez, the third baseman that came over in the deal.
At least he's a really good defensive.
No, he's not. Yeah. The thing about that trade, though, is I feel like so many people are like, oh, if Suarez turns out to be a bust, this trade's going to be stupid. And I'm like, I feel like Suarez was the throw-in.
Yeah.
Like, you were trading for Winker.
That's what...
And he's turned out great so far.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I heard it explained. Like, Suarez was a good batter that they got thrown in with the best batter.
Exactly.
Is it the best batter or the best batter in batting outfielder?
Left fielder, I think.
Best batting
I think
left
it's
fielder?
specifically left field, yeah.
A really good batter, though. And we've seen that. I don't know what his numbers are.
He went 0 for 3 today, but he had another walk. He's walked multiple times. He's had a multi-hit game already. He's played well.
You said 0 for 3, and I was like, are you sure? And then you said walked. I was like, yeah, because that's that. I feel like he's constantly on the bases.
Yeah.
But that makes sense that some of them are walks.
I mean, he's been on base a ton.
Yeah.
And... let's see here. On the season, okay, so he only has 2 hits. So he went 2 for 3 in the first game, I think. So he's 2 for 10. Not the best, but he's also got 4 walks.
His on-base percentage is .500.
Yeah, there you go. So that's why.
So that's why I was going to say, he
feels like he's on base constantly. Yeah. So, and Haniger has started off.
Those walks turn into hits eventually.
Yes,
right?
I agree. Yeah. And Haniger is only hitting 250, but he's already got 3 home runs.
Haniger, the manager. He has 2, I believe. 2
home runs, massive ones at that. So, oh man, I just yawned. I think that means we're supposed to change the subject, right?
Yeah, that's when I
know that's usually when you yawn, but
we can't talk about Mariners about basketball just because you're yawning.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I do think it's time for a break, and then we got local stuff to talk about, which people are usually more interested in anyway. So,
more interesting than the Mariners? Hold on, I'm working on it.
But yeah, stay tuned because after this we're gonna do Athlete of the Week. I think if I can pick one, and then local sports as well.
Sounds good.
Do you have a legal situation and need someone on your side? Let the law office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz be your advocate. If you've been the victim of medical malpractice, suffered a personal injury, or need representation with real estate law, small business law, or estate planning, let Jeff Domashevitz put his 29 years of experience to work for you. Call Jeff Domashevitz today at 360-612-3991 or visit domashevitzlaw.com. That's DAMASIEWICZLAW.com.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you again to our sponsors, the Law Office of Jeffrey A. Domashevitz and Ole Penn Real Estate, the sponsor of our Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week, which is this week. It's getting kind of a regular occurrence, but it's Kyra Gardner.
What?
I know. Apparently she's really good at track, too. Kyra was the only 4-event winner at their tri-district meet that was on Thursday. She picked up wins in the 100 hurdles, the long jump, the triple jump, and tied her season best winning the high jump with a leap of 5'8". I saw that jump of 5'8". It's amazing how high that is. Like getting your entire body over 5 feet 8.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
It's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so she is our Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week. Again, Yes, it's happened multiple times, but that's because she's deserving and she's a beast on the track as well as on the basketball court, which she also had a big event happen too. So I forgot. I can add that into the Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week commendations. Is she was also in, let me pull it up. This is a weird way. They used to call it something else. What did they used to call it? I think they used to call it like the Oregon-Washington shootout or something like that. But anyway, it's the WAVOR. Oh, I get what it's, yeah. Because it's WAVOR. It's the Washington versus Oregon 2022 All-Star Game. And she led all scorers with 24 points in that game. She didn't get the MVP award of the game, but she did lose that to her future Washington State Cougar teammate. So they gave it to Lauren Glazier, who had 20 points to go along with a bunch of rebounds and assists as well. But Kyra Gardner led all scorers in Washington's rout over Team Oregon, 126-91. And Kyra Gardner and Lauren Glazier, who is the MVP of the game, they are both going to be playing together at Washington State.
Go Cougs.
Yeah, so that should be a lot of fun. That had to be a fun game to watch. I'm looking at some of the highlights right now, and they had the Washington team in like the green and yellow of the Sonics and the Oregon team in the red, black, and white of the Blazers.
Nice.
Yeah, fun all-star game. That had to be a blast to go to see a lot of really good players. So yeah, Kyra Gardner also adds 20 points in an all-star game in the drubbing of Team Oregon to her Ole Penn Real Estate Athlete of the Week status there. Now let's move on to local sports roundup.
All right, hang on. Do you want me to alternate reading with you, or?
I can read.
Okay.
This is what I do, Andrew. I read stuff. Despite playing without several starters due to injuries in spring break, who leaves for spring break when you're playing on a sports team? Anyway, I guess people who can. I never got to.
I was going to say people who have the option to.
There we go. Montesano softball came back from an early 5-0 deficit to edge Lakeside 9 Mile Falls. Oh, I recognize that team because we knocked them out of the state tournament. Wow, old school days. Okay, on Tuesday at Dick Tagman Field in Montesano, with the game tied at 8-all in the top of the 7th. I believe that's the last inning. Addison Potts bunted for a base hit, stole second base, advanced to third on a pass ball, then scored on a ground out by Kylie Wisdom. Riley Timmons finished the job, striking out the side with just 11 pitches in the bottom of the 7th inning and ending the game with a 9-8 Bulldogs win. Timmons didn't start the game for Monty, but did pitch all 7 innings. How's that work? Allowing 1 earned run and 2 hits, striking out 8 batters. The sophomore also recorded 2 hits, including a double, and scored a run. Potts went 2 for 4 at the dish, scoring twice and driving in 1 run. Reagan Fairbairn also went 2 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Addie Kerskers recorded a hit and scored 3 times. The Raymond Seagulls took both the boys and girls team titles to win the overall combined trophy at the Henry Weisel Tri-District meet on Thursday in South Bend. Aforementioned Kyra Gardner picked up 4 events. I already told you about those. The 5.8 jump of the high jump is the 2nd best mark in the state this season.
Nice.
So look for her to be competing for that state trophy in like a month or so, maybe 2 months. On the boys' side, the Seagulls were powered by a 3-win day by Jackson Freeman. Gosh, how many Freemans are there?
Keep making more.
Who took the shot put as well as the 100 and 200 meters. Wait a second. Stop the music. Hold up. This kid won the shot put and the sprints? When does that happen? Shot put is supposed to be an event for big, huge guys who are slow. How do you win the 100 and the 200 and the shot put?
Seems like you're taking opportunities away from other athletes.
Yeah. What the heck?
That's awesome.
Okay,
awesome.
you can start the music back up. Okay. That's ridiculous. Morgan Anderson won the 110 hurdles minute 1 second. Wait, 800 meters. That can't be right. You can't win. You can't run 800. Can you run 800 meters in a minute? No, you can't. That's a 400 meter time. There's got to be a typo there. I'm assuming this is a personal best time of 2 minutes and 1 second because
I didn't write it.
Yeah,
Justin did.
So I'm going to say that's a typo and say that he won the 800 meters with a time of 2 minutes and 1 second, which is blazing, by the way. Willapa Valley sophomore Emily Wilson won both the 200 and the 400. For a full list of winners from Raymond, South Bend, and Willapa Valley, make sure you check out the Daily Worlds write-up or check out athletic.net. Also, local news, Joel DeBlanco had a pro day with Cincinnati, a bunch of his Bearcats teammates.
There were a lot of NFL scouts at that pro day, by the way. I was seeing...
Which makes sense when you go undefeated and you only lose to Alabama. You're going to have a lot of scouts there. So Joel DeBlanco, he's up 12 pounds apparently, up to 243. He's measured at 6'2 and 1/8. And sources say no less than 5 NFL teams expressed interest in him, and one GM even said that they were going to go get him. He's running drills better than he ever has before, apparently. His vert was 35 inches. Stop it. You weigh 243 pounds. Seriously. Again, you're not supposed to be real big and be able to... You're 243 and you got 243 pounds, 35 inches off the ground. My best was like 30. Okay, maybe it was actually 29, but that's nuts.
Well, this is probably 34.
Oh my goodness. He also had 20 bench reps of the 225, but our source said that he clipped the rack on his 18th rep, which probably hindered him. He was hoping to get 24. 40-yard dash, 4.72. That's ridiculous. 3-cone drill, 7.06. Shuttle of 4.22. And a broad jump of 9.7, which is also just massive. Wow. I also, gosh darn it, I was trying to find it. Carly Freeman, since we're talking about college athletes too, Carly Freeman is tearing it up at USC. I'm going to have to do this by memory because I could not find the post. But I saw something recently that she took 6th at a meet in discus with her personal record throw. And I'm pretty sure she was the top collegiate athlete at whatever meet this was for the discus. And the first place thrower was like an Olympic gold medalist. So she is just, yeah. So Carly Freeman is also tearing it up at USC throwing the discus. That's why I keep saying, how many Freemans are there? Because there's also another one, I think Carson, who's running track and played good in basketball as a freshman for Raymond's girls as well. So
they've got a freshman coming up as well.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah, Carson, I think the Freeman who's a freshman was an all-league basketball player as an 8th grader.
Nice.
Yeah. Just, come on.
Raymond just keeps putting those basketball players out
Seriously. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the local sports roundup. Going to take another break, get back for the mailbag, and wrapping up the show after this.
At Ole Pen Real Estate, we have solidified our foundation on 4 core values. First, we continuously focus on growing our knowledge in the market and in our practices to bring the highest level of competency to our clients. Second, we provide a high level of integrity, compassion, and kindness in every aspect of our business. Third, we put the human element above business through humor, enthusiasm, and patience. And last but not least, we proactively respond to the needs of our clients. Our mission is to create a personal real estate experience, one person and one home at a time. With Ole Pen, it's personal.
Are there questions on the chat?
I don't think so.
We could use some questions if
It's
you're
not
on
restricted,
the chat.
it's retracted.
Oh, retracted. Okay, so yeah, I read that very quickly.
Yeah.
There was a message retracted.
I think I read it out loud before he retracted it, but I don't remember what it was.
Maybe it was about Jay Buhner.
No, Buhner's further down.
Okay.
He said, Francis says that he hasn't watched a single minute of baseball. He just checks the standings so much faster. And that makes perfect sense for someone who's such a, who has such low standards of baseball that he follows and roots for the Yankees. Obviously, you're not interested in watching baseball.
You know, it's funny because there is that level. So I feel like we grew up listening to the Mariners, right?
Yep.
So we grew up listening, but I thought, and I'm not saying Francis is this old because I don't think he is. I'm not going to try and make a side swipe at Francis's age
Yet.
But I feel like there was a generation who like baseball in like the 1920s or something like that the way they watched baseball was through the box scores in the papers.
Yeah.
Because they probably didn't have a radio broadcast every day.
So you're saying that is Francis's generation, if not in reality, at heart.
At heart, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's from
I
that
feel like the
generation
next
of baseball watchers.
What generation was it? Like, what about the old people that like the old ladies? It seems like it's old ladies that like watch every game and like keep score.
Yes, the scorekeeping generation.
Is that a generation or is that just a certain type of fan?
Well, I feel like it's a generation because the only young person that I know that does that, like with any regularity, is Lydia Cruz, who used to work for 710.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she's actually 85. And I think that she would probably agree with that. Do we have any new questions, or should we hit one of these?
She is currently covering the Mariners. I don't remember.
Oh, is
who
she?
She's
good.
working. I don't remember who exactly she's working for, but she's working with Joe Fan, I believe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good. She was.
So she is. I believe she is still
very talented.
Yeah.
So and just one of the craziest baseball nuts you'll ever find. So you know what? I went to a
But
game.
you're right. All the other people that I can think of, like the people that I either see carrying scorebooks, like at the baseball field too. It's always the old people.
Yeah. I kept score at a game once and I regretted it.
Really, I was just thinking that would probably actually keep me engaged in the game.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
can
be
see
able
that.
to do anything else though.
Yeah,
like,
that was the thing.
I wouldn't like it.
That was the thing is I went with my family and then I got a wild hair and decided to keep score. I was keeping score on like a random piece of paper.
Well, see, that's probably part of why you didn't have fun, though.
Yeah, so it was harder,
Yeah.
and also I don't remember like any of the parts with my family in that game.
Do you remember the stats?
I remember that. Oh gosh, Yonder Alonso was on the team because I remember like the only thing that I did chanting wise was yelling Yonder. I think they lost. I mean, they most likely lost. But I remember after the game, Courtney was like, yeah, it wasn't really fun to watch the game with you because you were just writing down what was happening every play instead of actually watching the game. So I don't think that I'll be keeping score anytime soon at the ball game because the few times that I get to go to Mariners games, I want to enjoy all of it, not see a pitch, put my head down to write something down, see a hit, put my head down to write something down. Oh, what was the ruling on that play? You know, I don't want to mess with any of that.
You know what I do want though?
What?
And I've been watching John Boy media stuff quite a lot over the past like
so entertaining
year.
And Francis, he's a
super
Yankees fan.
That's
so.
that's the thing. It doesn't really come up in the off season because he just does other stuff. But now he live tweets Yankees games.
Okay.
And I think they stream some like where like they're just watching it. But what I really want is I want somebody like that sitting next to me who can talk me through every at bat. Who can be like, yeah, so what he's trying to do here is he's trying to get him to go like he has that slider, but he has to set it up with this pitch. So if he can get this pitch to hit, now look, he's going to go to that slider now. And, oh yeah, look, he swung and he's out. Like stuff like that is fascinating.
So you want Mike Blowers, sitting next to you, giving you color,
but not telling stories, like literally just talking about what is actually happening. I think that is so cool.
Yes,
and I'm kind of mad because he'll do that for Yankees stuff, but he doesn't really do it for other stuff.
Yeah,
unless he does a breakdown.
That's why I said Blowers because Blowers pretty much doesn't tell stories. There's even sometimes where it's almost awkward because like Dave Sims will like say something that's more like story-wise anecdotal, and then there'll be a little silence, and then Blowers will go, 90-mile-an-hour slider there. Let's see what he follows that pitch up with. Will he go away? And you're like, I think he wanted you to tell a story there, Mike. And you just went,
Is that game going on?
Exactly. He was like, let's see if he goes back to the slider, or maybe is he going to go up and in with a fastball here now? And it's like, yeah, it's fascinating stuff because there's a ton of strategy going on that if you didn't grow up in it.
And I didn't. So I know that all that strategy is going on, but I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. And it's fascinating to me, but somebody has to read the whole book to me because otherwise I'm like, oh, hey, look, a strike.
Yeah.
That wasn't a strike. Why'd he swing?
Hey, that wasn't a strike. Why they call it a strike? All right. Any one last check. Any mailbag questions? Does Anchor have any mailbag questions up there?
I have a mailbag
like
question from my wife.
Oh.
She wants to know what is well, hold on. Actually, we should probably
play the music.
Maybe. Do I have one?
The mailbag.
Yes,
Send
the mailbag.
us your stuff. Send
That's
us your
the
stuff
mailbag.
in a mailbag.
Daniel, what's your dream vacation?
Ooh. That's a good question.
That's so wide.
That is very wide.
Are we saying like money is no object?
Okay.
You won a contest that was unlimited budget, 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm making up
I was
rules
wondering
off the top of my
yeah,
head here.
I like it. I needed
Unlimited
some
budget,
parameters.
3 weeks. You can go and do anything you want. What's the dream vacation?
Okay.
Now I have to
So-
think about this.
So, because first of all, when I first hear vacation, I think get away for like a week or, think of what might be in my parameters and then stretch that a little bit. Like, maybe a week in Hawaii, or something like that at some exotic place. But I think if I had no money or
All money. You
I had
had
all
all
money.
money.
yeah, excuse me. I had all money and I had 3 weeks. I think I would hit like 10 different baseball parks.
Oh, so you do the tour, like the baseball tour.
Yeah.
Would you try to follow would you rather follow a single team through, like your team through? Or would you?
If they were on a road trip, let's see. It's usually a 3-game series.
Maybe you could
so
set
3
it up
weeks.
so that you just caught like the Mariners in a
I would
few
only get-
different stadiums
Yeah.
through that.
Yeah, I think that's what it would have to
'Cause
be.
unlimited money, I don't see any reason why you couldn't spend a couple days in a
Yeah.
different city for 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
That would be incredible.
And you go to LA and you can hit 2 different stadiums near each other. You go to a Dodgers game and you could go to 3 because you could go to a Dodgers game. You could go to a game in Anaheim, see the Angels play, and then you could
California.
drive. Yeah. And then you could drive down to San Diego and watch the Padres play. And that's
Or you could fly down to San Diego.
You could. No, money's not an option. You could take a helicopter down to San Diego and then fly to, but then I'd also want to see like the historical ones. So I think I would finish off in LA when it was like nicer and, kind of have more of a relaxing time and then a shorter flight home. But I would start off with going to like Wrigley and then Fenway, and then I don't really care about going to Yankee Stadium. And then I think I would go to Pittsburgh and St. Louis. I think those would be some fun places to visit too. And then round it out, hitting the 3 stadiums in Southern California. Maybe going to San Francisco on the way back home, and then finishing it out at Safeco.
That'd be cool.
That'd be
That'd
be a fun vacation. But it would, in my mind, it would take unlimited money because I don't want to make that drive in 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, but it's totally doable if you can fly from city to city.
Exactly. Yeah. Because then you're not worn out. Because
Yeah,
otherwise, you're going to get done with vacation and need a vacation.
Yes. Maybe you can do it over 2 weeks and just sleep for a week.
Yeah. I think have you ever had that happen?
Oh,
where you get back from vacation and you're just exhausted.
It's the worst. I usually try to figure like whatever trip or something I'm doing on a vacation. I usually try to get back the Friday or early on the Saturday, but I usually try to get back the Friday at the end of the vacation week so that it's a normal weekend and then I go to work instead of getting home late. Like I feel like when you don't purposefully make it happen, you end up stretching everything out. You get home late Sunday night.
Yep.
Or whatever, maybe if you took a day Monday off, then you get home like Monday night and you're like, I have to go to work in the morning.
Yes, and you just feel miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always try and have at least a day, if not 2 days.
Yeah.
That'd be a good question, though. Also, what for our listeners, you can contact us on Twitter, on this YouTube comments or chat, email at the scrimmage. Or
the
Gmail, the scrimmage image at
gmail.com.
Twitter at the scrimmage. Instagram, I think, is at the scrimmage GH. Facebook, follow us at the scrimmage. Let us know what would be your top 5 baseball stadiums you want to visit.
Oh, yeah.
That isn't, I guess since it's top 5, you can have your favorite teams in there. Like if you're Francis, you can have Yankee Stadium in there. I was going to try and say your top one.
I feel like Yankee Stadium is still historic, right?
It is.
Okay.
No, it's new Yankee Stadium.
Oh, it is new Yankee Stadium?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm less interested.
Yeah, because it's not actually the place.
Is it the Boston?
Boston's still Fenway.
Fenway Park. Okay, Fenway is the one I think that sticks out in my head as like, stories about it in the 20s.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, who knows what happened inside the Green Monster?
We don't want to know.
Exactly. Maybe debauchery. Probably.
Undoubtedly a lot of cocaine.
Because the 70s existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, for the vacation, I think I like where you went with it, with doing a lot of things. I have always, we both watch the Top Gear and later Grand Tour.
Yep.
And the idea of having renting or buying and then selling or whatever, but like a supercar.
Oh.
And touring through Europe, like starting in England or starting in England, driving, just
taking the ferry
slow
across.
Cruise, probably take the channel. I don't know.
Oh, right. I forgot about
but
that.
Either way,
Yeah.
like driving just and driving through through Northern Europe, Eastern Europe, down into the Mediterranean. I think that would just be. That's like I don't know if I can even say it's a bucket list because I don't know if it's ever even the sort of thing you could do, but that is like fantasy vacation for me.
Yes.
Like just drive, see all the places.
Even if you don't have a supercar.
Well, yeah, but supercar is part of it because unlimited money.
Unlimited money. Yes. But if
yes, any fun to drive car would suffice.
Yeah. I love road trips.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty sweet.
Specifically a Mercedes SLK convertible.
Okay. Interesting. Are you more of a Mercedes guy or BMW? Because I'm assuming Mercedes. Because I've usually liked how BMWs look better.
I don't know. It has nothing to do with how it looks.
Okay.
It has to do with what. It has to do with. Who is it? It wasn't Richard Hammond. It was Clarkson.
Okay.
Jeremy Clarkson's sales pitch on it. At one point in one of the shows, I was just like, yeah, that sounds like it's just incredibly luxurious and also incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No downsides.
No downsides at all. And also super fun and powerful to drive. So that was specifically that. I don't think it looks that great. In fact, I feel like Mercedes generally look kind of dumb.
They look kind of weird usually.
But super luxurious. And for cruising,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, bud.
Hi, Anchor.
My son's making his. I guess it's not his debut. He was on a couple weeks ago too. Oh,
friend of the show, Anchor Hargrove.
Anchor. Hey, bud.
He's a Grays Harbor guy.
All right. I think that's going to do it for the show today.
Thank you, Justin, for
Yeah, seriously.
he did a lot of the prep work.
Justin
and,
did like all of the prep
He couldn't make
work.
it today, but thank you, Justin.
Yeah, and it wasn't because my ankle was icky. It was actually due to family issues. So we're definitely praying for everything going on there. And yeah, he did like all of the show sheet work. So basically ran the show for us while not being here. So thanks a lot to Justin, our absentee co-host. Oh, Anchor's playing with the mic. And
I don't have a nickname.
yeah, but your dogs
For
are here.
Daniel, why do the umps hate Julio Hargrove?
Yeah, I still don't have a nickname.
I've been Andrew Gross.
You're listening to the Scrimmage.